10. Stream is live. All the way live.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode number 4 of Around the SWAC. I'm Charles Porter, along with our conductor, Raymond Holly. We know him as G-Boom. The golden voice, Rick Godfrey, the chatterbox, who'll join us here in just a few moments, Larry Hill, the incredible Jalen Cole, and yours truly, Charles Porter. The Southwestern Athletic Conference here in week 4, man, was really, really exciting. Hang out with us as we take trips around the Southwestern Athletic Conference. We're going to go to Fresno, California. We're going to hop over to Pine Bluff, Arkansas, down to Nashville, Tennessee, over to Orangeburg, South Carolina, all the way down to the tip to Tallahassee, Florida, over to Montgomery, Alabama, Starkville, Mississippi, Jackson, Mississippi. We'll take a trip down the bayou, Little Black Star, and head to Hammond, Louisiana, and Grambling, Louisiana, and then we will wind up home, Rick Godfrey, in Houston, Texas, and then we'll go to our various places. You'll go out to the Woodlands. And I'll sit right here close to Prairie View. Chad will go to Third Ward, and Jalen will go to Texas City. I'm telling you, all our locations. Well, welcome to edition of All Around the SWAC, episode 4. Every Tuesday, we hop on this train, the PC Express, and go around the SWAC and tell you about exciting Southwestern Athletic Conference sports, highlighting football, volleyball, soccer, cross-country track, basketball's coming up, and volleyball. Did I say volleyball? And volleyball. Yeah. So we're really excited about it. Want to ask you to follow us on all of our social media platforms. Let's see, that's going to be on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Splendid Media Resource. That's at Splendid Media Resource. You can go ahead and follow us. A lot of interesting scores here this week. Jackson State jumps on Tuskegee. Alabama A&M gets their second win in a row. Alcorn State had it tough down in Mississippi, in Starkville. Bethune-Cookman also had it tough, but played well in another SWAC MEAC challenge. Yeah, the Delta Devils are really trying to find themselves, so we're going to talk about them. Talk to Coach Buckley this week. Texas Southern was the birds fly away as Lamar came to town and defeated them by a score of 31-7, 33-25. That was a good one. The Rattlers versus the Rams of Albany State. Yep. Prairie View, good showing against Rice. We're going to talk about that. Good showing. The Hornets of Alabama State, and it's all Andrew Body. It's the Andrew Body Show. Yeah. And, man, he had a tremendous weekend. And Jackson State, well, is Jackson State. They played their reserves to defeat Miles College 23-21. I'm sorry, is it Tennessee State 23-21? Yeah. In a pretty big game down in Jackson. Most of those games are sold out. Want to remind you that September is Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. Prostate cancer is one of the leading killers of African-American men here in America. My statistics fell off right there, but we highlight prostate cancer in the month of September. Take your loved one to the doctor. We always pay tribute to Dwayne Charleston, my dear friend, who lost his battle this year, and we're going to keep on promoting this prostate cancer thing. A few people have watched the show and say they like the way the graphics pop up and the prostate cancer awareness, and we're going to just let Dwayne Charleston be our spokesperson from heaven from now on. We're just going to keep putting it up. We're also going to get ready for October, which is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We are real excited about it. Shouts out to Hallelujah Sunshine. She is a 7-year breast cancer survivor. So I'm very, very proud of my beautiful half over there. There we go. Dwayne Charleston's prostate cancer awareness flyer is up. It's kind of cut off at the bottom. You can't see the numbers. All you got to do is just go to Google. Google prostate cancer awareness. We'll do a better job of concising that graphic so we can see the numbers. Oh, there he is. Contact him at 1-800-757-CURE. That's 1-800-757-CURE. The Splendid Media team promotes prostate cancer awareness. The Panther Club, the PCs, for those of you who are old school and been around G-Boom, the Panther Club alumni club is having their 6th annual golf tournament. It's been moved. It was originally slated to be in Herman Park Golf Course, there and nestled in the shadows of downtown where a lot of people play, but they're remodeling. So we had to move it out to Red Bluff, the Red Bluff Golf Course in Humble, Texas. That's close to you, Rick.
Redstone.
Well, it says Red Bluff. We have it as Red Bluff. You sure it's Redstone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, wait a minute. Hold on. We still have the original one up at Herman Park. So, yeah, it's Redstone. Okay, if Rick says it's Redstone, it's Redstone. It's October 6th. Go ahead and scan the QR code at the bottom there. There are quite a few telephone numbers that you can call. I don't know if you can see them up, but I'll grab them right quick here and get those numbers. If you'd like to sponsor a team or if you would like to play, you can contact Torrance Earl at 832-338-7205. Adam Washington at 832-588-1090 or Clarence Grimes at 972-896-3143. The 6th annual Panther Club alumni golf tournament. Some of the proceeds go to benefit athletics. We're trying to build a budget so that we can donate some money. So when you see Panther Club stuff, go ahead and check us out. We don't just tailgate, Rick. We're just not great cooks. We do other stuff in the community. One thing, all of our legacy sponsors, SCI, Clark East and his group. Also, our friends over at Waller County Line. I keep telling Overton, man, people are listening and people are eating barbecue. But
yes, they are.
I tell you, man, I tell him I'm still not going to stop my ritual, Rick. Every game I stop at Waller County Line. As you know, you see the barbecue. Every time I go, that's just my deal. Yeah. Also, our friends over at This Is It out there in Humble, where every meal has a Sunday feel. I can just take right now some good old yams and sweet potatoes and greens and cornbread and pig feet and ham hocks and oxtails and
fried ribs.
But let me stop. I'm making y'all hungry. Y'all visit This Is It down in Humble, Texas. Tell them you heard it right here on Splendid Media as we get ready to go around the SWAC. We've got a new sponsor. Al Johnson is a local businessman who has really been working hard out in the community here at Prairie View, and I hope he got the link. He didn't text me back and say that he has the link, but I told him he can catch us on YouTube at Splendid Media and all of the other sources. So Al is, and we'll revisit this at the end. We're trying to get the graphic up here in just a few moments, but they're sponsoring a lot of stuff out here. They've got a big Halloween party coming up, a big homecoming party coming up, and right now they are, let me get it off of this one here, G-Boom, and I'll do it this way as you get ready. It's the PV Blowout Party weekend of homecoming getting ready to start. They're trying to promote it now, October the 24th. Mm-hmm. Save the date, pre-sale tickets are coming. There we go. It's Power Play right there. It's walking distance from campus. It's right across the street on 22203. Is that the Loop, FM 1098? Okay, yeah, the Loop. Right there on the Loop. I think it's the big field across from the Loop or either down further. But, I mean, you can walk from campus there. And Al Johnson and I are good friends. He's from New Orleans, Louisiana. And he's been really, really working hard in this community to try to help it grow. And he promotes responsible fun. And that's what we promote here on Splendid Media and around the SWAC. Responsible fun. We know your kids are going to come down here to the university and be college students. And sometimes, they don't make the best decisions. But you can just rest assured people like Al Johnson, people like Raymond Holly, Charles Porter, and Rick Godfrey are constantly watching your kids like they're ours. And,
That's right.
And if they're doing something they ain't supposed to do, we're going to call them on it. And if they need some help, we're going to do the best we can to help them out. If you want us to watch your child, just inbox us your telephone number and we'll watch over them.
Yeah.
But responsible fund, and the city of Prairie View is doing a great job with their police department, working in tune with the university, in concert with them, and making things really safe around here. There's always going to be some unfortunate things to happen, but I think if we all become a village, Rick Godfrey,
that's right,
we'll be okay.
It takes a village to raise a child.
It absolutely does, and these are still kids. They're young adults, but they still are kids. How about that? Rick, you had an interesting event that you attended over the past week. Tell us about what happened with you.
Yes, I did. As this morning, after I got up and said my prayers, which is traditional with me, it's my tradition. Putting in our say our prayers before we make a move toward the kitchen. We say our prayers. But anyway, after the prayers were said, the vehicle was cranked, and I drove to Nimitz High School today and took part in the Unified Intramural Basketball game in conjunction with Texas Special Olympics, and it was a rewarding experience. I wouldn't trade it for the world. Nimitz took on Aldine High School. Now, if you're not familiar with Texas Special Olympics, these are children with challenges, okay? But needless to say, you can't tell them that they're challenged, all right? Mm-hmm. To them, they're basketball players just like Kobe Bryant was and LeBron James is. They got it done today, and fun was had by all. I wanted to give a special shout out to Miss Julie Grutzmacher. I'll have to call her the chairperson of the event, because for the past 4 years, she's let me be the MC of that event. And each time I do it, it makes my heart swell with pride, and it's an extremely rewarding experience for everybody who comes. So, Julie Grutzmacher, if I had on a hat, I'd tip it to you and tell you what a fantastic job you did. And I'll see you September the 30th at MacArthur High School. There's another game, Charles. At MacArthur High School, Nimitz will take on MacArthur in a unified intramural basketball game in conjunction with Texas Special Olympics.
What is that I hear, Rick Godfrey?
Let's go. Let's move.
It's time to move the train. Is it time to get out of here, ladies and gentlemen? And
gotta go.
To Fresno, California.
Woo.
Oh, man, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Well, this weekend in exciting Southwestern Athletic Conference football, the Jaguars of Southern University traveled up to sunny Fresno, California for a date with Fresno State. Man, what a game.
OMG. The Southern Jaguars. Southern Jaguar football team traveled to Fresno, California. And I'm going to use the term tangle. They tangled with Fresno State. But the Jags came up a little bit short. Once again, it was tough for the Bluff. But hey, there was a shining light at the end of the tunnel. Listen to this. Southern, Charles, you and I talked about maybe some of these schools might want to consider resting the starting quarterback when they take on these PWIs. And Southern put in their third-string quarterback. His name is Ashton Strother. And he provided the lone bright spot for the Jaguars offense. This young man got in the game unindoctrinated. He'd never played this year. Went 9 of 14 for 127 yards. And the dark spot, I have to call it a dark spot. Southern had 12 penalties that each time a penalty occurred, it was right after they made a terrific play. One terrific play followed by a penalty, and it led to the Jaguars' downfall. The Jaguars fall to 1-3 on the season. That's unfortunate. But, hey, it's not SWAC play. Those are all non-conference games, okay? And their next challenge will be on September the 27th. They get a week off. They get a week off. Go ahead.
Bye week. They're going to need it. They're going to need it. But let me just jump right in right quick.
Jump right in, both feet.
What Terrence Graves said on the call. He said the guys played hard the entire game. They saw some improvements, and they played a lot of guys on it. They got a chance to look at some other guys. They did move the ball down the field, and that's the thing. Southern can move the ball up and down the field. They just haven't been able to find the end zone, and that's what they're trying to do. Still trying to learn his players. Yeah, and they're trying to learn each other. And as he gets ready to take on the big challenge, Jackson State here in a couple of weeks, I think the Jaguars are going to settle down. They've seemed to find a rhythm in this young quarterback, but don't count out the other quarterbacks. I mean, he's a young guy. He had some good rhythm. Cameron McCoy, and then Ashton Struther are going to go at it to see who's going to be the best player that week to start. And I think they're going to have some success down in the Bluff. You don't stay down on the Bluff too long if you're doing that. And Graves is a very good coach. He's going to get those Jaguars back together. They made some offensive changes, and I think it's for the better. So good luck to the Southern Jaguars. What's going on with volleyball and soccer down there, Rick?
Well, the volleyball team, their last matchup was at Nicholls State in Thibodeau. I got to say Thibodeau. You hear that? You hear my French? Thibodeau. Yeah. But unfortunately for the Lady Jags, I don't want to call them Lady Jags. I'm gonna call them Jags. They fell to 2-6 on the season after losing 0-3 to Nicholls State. And something I noticed, Nicholls State sure plays a lot of SWAC schools. And you'll probably notice that name again in some more notes that I have. Anyway, Southern, they continue to be led by a young lady by the name of Ariana Brown. She's an outstanding volleyball player. She led Southern with 8 kills, 2 aces. And on the year, check this out, she's got 97 kills on the season. That's phenomenal. But Southern's next match, they will go to McNeese State September the 16th for 6:30 first serve. And as a matter of fact, they're playing right now.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, you can probably catch them on SWAC TV. That's another thing we talk about too. Southwestern Athletic Conference is doing volleyball. They're doing soccer. I mean, and 90% of their games are going to start being on that network. And we'll talk a little bit about SWAC TV here in a little bit as we get ready to hit that train and get ready to get out of here. What about... Hello, did we lose you guys?
I think I know what you were about to say.
Oh, what, let's get it kicking?
Soccer.
Okay, I thought I had lost you there for a minute. Don't scare me like that. Go ahead, what we got kicking off?
I would be remiss if I did not mention Jaguar soccer. They don't hit the field again until they kick off SWAC play in Montgomery, Alabama, September the 26th. But right now their record's 1-6 on the year, and they're a team that there's room for improvement. I'll just say that and be done with it. That's a team that still has room for improvement, but they don't kick off their season, the SWAC play, and they go to Montgomery, Alabama, as they take on Alabama A&M.
All right, well, they're getting it kicking there in the soccer field. I think the train is getting ready to get out of the bank. And we're going to take a trip down to Pine Bluff, Arkansas, home of Ron Leverett, where the Sam Shade Show is really starting to begin. The Bulldogs of Alabama A&M. If my stat just pop up here, folks, please bear with me. Got a newer screen, and it's not cooperating right now. But Sam Shade went up to Pine Bluff, Arkansas. Wait a minute, I lost my place. Where's my script? Here we go. No. Fresno, I'm sorry. UAPB. We're in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. Hold on. We're in Pine Bluff. We got to turn around and go back. Hold on. We got to make a U-turn, folks. We went to the wrong place. Still waiting on Chatterbox to join us. Okay. Put it in turbo there, T-Bone. And let's get down to Pine Bluff, Arkansas, to their first win of the season. Congratulations to Pine Bluff. Coach had some great comments on the game this weekend, and we were really excited to see how up tempo he was about how UAPB performed last week. They got to play a lot of guys. They got to get on the field and get off the field, and then when I say that, that means the defense. And Coach Hampton was saying that they had a good first half. They started off real good, and their third down efficiency's got to get a little bit better, but it started improving. Jalen Fleming had a great job running back in Peters. Even though he threw 3 interceptions, he was 50% on most of his plays. So I'm just trying to get back over here to Pine Bluff. Here we go. All right, now here we go. So statistically, looking at it, it was a really, really, really good game. The Pine Bluff, Arkansas Golden Lions, and if it will just act right here. Just trying to get my stats to act right here. Come on, guys. Okay, something's not going right with these stats. But anyway, we'll revisit it here in just a moment. Okay, there we go. My computer's running just really, really slow today. Let's see. And there. All right, finally, there it goes. All right, here, looking at some of the stats for the box score of this game. The Golden Lions as a team, oh, wow. There we go. Golden Lions with 33 first downs on the night to Lincoln's 12, 324 yards for the Golden Lions of UAPB. And I think that's a great start for them. The quarterback situation seems to be getting stronger and stronger. Christian Peters and DJ Stevens working real hard for the Golden Lions. Peters 14 of 23 for 182 yards, 3 interceptions. As I said, his longest pass was a 53-yarder, and then DJ Stevenson came in and had a couple of tosses, 2 of 4 for 19 yards. Jalen Jennings, 6 catches for 226 yards and 4 touchdowns. He's getting it done. That's going to pad his stats over there. And on the ground, 4 of 80 yards, 4 catches. 4 rushes for Kareem Burks. I'm sorry, Jalen Jennings, 4 rushes, 226 yards, and then Kareem Burks with 4 receptions for 80 yards. Man, Jalen, man, they're getting it done over there. They've got some bright spots in Pine Bluff, Arkansas, and we're looking forward to seeing what they got going on defensively for Pine Bluff. Let's see, they had 27 tackles. Kareem Burke with 28 tackles. Where is it? What did happen to it? It just disappeared. Something's going on with my screen here. It disappeared. I had those stats. I need to keep them written down. But anyway, hats off to the Golden Lions of the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff with their first win. Congratulations, Coach.
Congratulations.
And we'll be happy to see you. Let's get what's going on with volleyball. And you got to please excuse me. I don't know why this thing's running so slow.
Well, volleyball team travels to Stephenville as they will take on September the 18th. They'll take on Charleston State Texans. And
they're coming off of a loss, Rick, in New Orleans, a 3-game of 0-3, and they played Nicholls State last Friday. We talked about them visiting Nicholls. They lost that match 3-1. They got some pretty good games. The closest they got in that match, let's pop over to the box score. The closest they got was a 25-23 win on the opening set. But nothing else to write home to mom about. They just got to get in a better rhythm, and I think they're going to be all right. Now the schedule, back over to the schedule, where they're headed tomorrow.
Well, next for the volleyball team, I don't have that statistic available right now, but they all get ready. They're getting ready to start SWAC play. Everybody's preparing to enter into SWAC play on the 26th and 27th.
All right, they're headed to the Belmont Invitational. I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on with the internet over here. Belmont Invitational, they headed there in Nashville, Tennessee, dropped all three of those, and then over to the Southeast SWAC Challenge in New Orleans. Lost 3 in a row there, and as you said, they're heading over to Tarleton State in Stephenville, Texas, this Thursday, and then Friday they'll be taking on North Texas, and Saturday, Louisiana Tech in the Texan Classic. The Golden Lions of UAPB, the Lady Tigers, or Lady Lions, pardon me, are 0-9 overall. They got to get some things going there, and I think they'll be all right. Over to the soccer field, the Golden Lions are 14-28 overall. They played a lot of games there. 9-50. Oh, that's got to be last year's. Oh, I'm sorry. It's softball. I'm sorry. But gosh, this thing is crazy. All right, here we go. Is it my mouse or what? The Golden Lions are 1-5 after dropping one on this last. Let's see, that was the 15th of this month against Mary Harding.
Mm-hmm.
They've canceled the game against Mississippi Valley, but they'll be back on the field on the 28th as they visit Alcorn State down on the reservation. That's all I got on the Golden Lions of the University of Arkansas Pine Bluff. Well, let's try to hit it and get on the train and get ready to get out of here. All right, where are we heading now? We're heading up to Nashville, Tennessee.
Nashville, Tennessee.
It's the Sam Shade Show.
The home of the Grand Ole Opry.
Man, look, Sam Shade's got 2 in a row.
Huh?
And yeah, Sam Shade's got 2 wins in a row. I know he is excited about it, and so are the Bulldogs at Alabama A&M. What a great finish for Alabama State, Alabama A&M, the Bulldogs. Coach Sam Shade in the coach's call, winning that one 23-21 in the thriller, down where I think, let's see, I'll tell you about it in a second. But we want to send some shouts out. But a recap, well, it's the Legacy Series Classic. They did 4 games a couple of years ago. The offense, Trevon Abner, had 6 catches for 100 yards. Second effort after the catches was great. They got a big tight end down there, and he can really catch the ball. It's a really good offense starting to cultivate there for Sam Shade. And I think if they can just keep the momentum going, they'll be fine. Defensively, and special teams, too many penalties, but defensively, they got to get the job done in the second half. They held Tennessee State to 4 third downs there in the second quarter. In the third quarter. So they started getting better and better. And if you look at it, this is really aggravating. And if you look at the statistics, folks, the scoring got often and early in the second quarter. The score was 10-0. Going into halftime, they came out and scored 13 more points. And they really got a good job done. I'm just going to have to read my written notes. There we go. Finally coming up. I'm going to say some crazy stuff here in a minute. Tennessee State, 21 first downs. They got it done offensively. Reggie Barlow down there and his crew put some points up. They put some yards up on offense, but gee whiz, Alabama A&M with 355 yards of total offense, and they shut TSU down to 179 yards rushing. Alabama A&M got most of theirs done in the air on 23 of 35 for 422 yards of total offense, 355 yards in the air. The Tennessee State Tigers only had 157 yards in total offense. Individually, the Brian McNair show over at Texas Southern lost Tennessee State rather, 17-27 for 157. While Cornelius Brown got it done, they called him Quad Brown down there. And Quad Brown got down with 21 tosses for 21 to 33 for 329 yards and 2 touchdowns on the ground. Maurice Edwards was 10 of 38, and as I said earlier, the Bulldogs got most of it done in the air. Congratulations to the Bulldogs of Alabama A&M. What a great job and a great win for them. No comments? We'll keep rolling. Well, let's hop on over to soccer here. The Lady Bulldogs are getting ready, as you said, like the rest of them, for SWAC play. The Bulldogs are just coming off of a loss to West Georgia, 3-2 in Carrollton. I'm sorry. They won those last two. The loss was at Presbyterian College back on the 4th with a 1-0 score. They defeated South Carolina State in Orangeburg, South Carolina, 3-0 back on September 7th, and as late as last Thursday, 3-2, a win over West Georgia for the Bulldogs of Alabama A&M. They are 3-6. Next up, they're going to take on Southwestern Athletic Conference foe Jackson State. That should be an interesting one there.
Yes.
That should be a good one because Jackson State has a great soccer team, and I think these two teams are going to challenge for the Southwestern Athletic Conference title. Not taking nothing from my Panthers, but they're looking pretty good here in the year. Over on the volleyball court, the Lady Bulldogs are starting to play Bulldog volleyball. There was a period of time where the Bulldogs dominated on the volleyball court. 7-2 is their record. They are coming off of a win against New Orleans in 4 sets, 3-1. Abilene Christian College the last Friday, 3-1. Incidentally, New Orleans game, it was Saturday. And then on Friday, they took on Nicholls State in the Southland Conference SWAC crossover. So the Bulldogs of Alabama A&M are doing pretty good out there. My hat's off to them. It is time to get ready to get back on this train. And
back on the train.
Got to get back on the train here. I don't know what's going on with our train whistle there. We got to get it all aboard. There we go. Get the train whistle to get up out of here, and we are getting ready to head to Nashville, Tennessee. Well, we're leaving Nashville, heading to Orangeburg, South Carolina, where the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats had a tough time over with the Tigers of South Carolina State. Man, what a game. Chatterbox, that's his portion of Around the SWAC. We're going to table it to the end, see if he can get back on at the end. However, the final score, 55-41 in that contest. Well, down to Tallahassee. But basketball, I'm telling you, it was a good one. Down to Tallahassee, Florida, where the Florida A&M Rattlers defeated the Albany State Rams 33-35. Now, that was a good game, G-Boom.
Yeah.
You were watching that game. I was watching the game after I got home that evening, trying to catch all 4 games. And just, it's great to be able to catch all 4 games while you're just sitting there at home. And when's the last time you got a chance to watch all 4 Southwestern Athletic Conference games while you're sitting at home on SWAC TV? You can download it. TV. Yeah, you can download it on all of the platforms that are available for you. You can get it on your Roku device. You can get it on Apple TV. You can download it to your phone. I got it all over the house, just to be straight. But I mean, it's just great to be back, to be able to sit back and watch all of those games at one time. 33-25, the score for the Rattlers of Florida A&M. As a team, some pretty good yardage down there. Completed 300 total yardage is, this thing won't act right. 395 yards. Wait a minute, hold on, what's going on? Oh man, this thing keeps acting. Like I got an issue over here. 201 yards for Albany State. 371 for the Rattlers of Alabama A&M. They were 26 of 31 in the air with one interception, average of 10 yards per catch. On the ground, not so good. Just only 91 yards rushing on the other side of the ball. Albany State, well, now it wants to act right. Albany State did pretty good with 191 yards, but it was all R.J. Johnson III. 17 completions of 22 attempts for 272 yards and 2 touchdowns. Chad Franklin, 15 carries for 76 yards on the ground. And receiving 5 catches for 121 yards for Kanari Witcher, 5 catches for 78 yards there for Ahmad Burris. They're getting better and better as we get down to actual real SWAC play. We got this next week. Really, SWAC play begins. A lot of teams are off on their bye week. 4 games on the slate for this week, so a lot of folks are taking a break, licking their wounds. They've got a chance to see some of the other players, some of the other kids on their teams, and see what they got and what they're made of. They've got some valuable experience in these away games, even though they've been tough. I think they're good. That final score, the Florida A&M Rattlers, I think we're at Florida now. 33 Albany State 25. Did we finish up Bethune-Cookman? I jumped over those on ours. Those are chatterboxes. Hope everything's okay with him heading in. Thought he was going to be on tonight, so I hope everything is going good with Chatterbox. All right, Rick Godfrey, it's time to get out. Oh wait, let's go. Let's get some volleyball statistics right quick. 2 of 6. 2 and 6 are the FAMU Rattlers, last year Southwestern Athletic Conference champion, coming off of a loss against Georgia State in the tournament, 3-1, and then they lost to McNeese State in the McNeese State Invitational. So a win and a loss against FAMU on the 11th. Against McNeese State on the 11th of September. That was last Thursday. And then Saturday, they took on Georgia State down in the Lawson Center and lost that one 3 matches to 1. They're headed to they're going to take on West Virginia in Jacksonville, Florida on the 18th. That's this Thursday in the Jacksonville tournament. They'll take on West Virginia, Jacksonville State, and Jacksonville before they start SWAC play on September the 26th. Let's go over here and take a look at women's soccer. Let's see. That's right. No soccer team for Florida A&M. Charles, this is a difficult one. Let's get on the train here and get out of here. I need a lifeline here.
Take me to Mississippi.
That final score, we're heading to Mississippi, to Starkville here, Mississippi, and the Jackson State Tigers. Well, wait a minute. Something's missing. Where are we going? Starkville, Mississippi now? Yeah, tough time in Starkville.
The Jackson State Tigers? That where you are? We in Jackson, Mississippi? Oh, no.
That's
Jackson Hornets. Mr. Body. Mr. Body.
We're going to Alabama.
We're going back to Montgomery. Yeah, we skipped a stop here. It's the Andrew Body Show. We talked we talked about this kid week 1 against the University of Alabama, Birmingham, where in the second play of the game, he took off like a rocket and just stunned the crowd. They took on Miles College, and the 37-9 win. Coach Eddie Robinson was real candid in his interview on Monday about what his team could do and how they are preparing. They played a lot of guys. He played 9 freshmen. So a lot of young guys got to see some time there during this non-conference game. Offense, they were 31 points in the first half. Andrew Body threw 4 touchdowns in the first half. It was over then. So
OMG.
Yeah, it was over them. They got to improve on the penalties. And cornerback Zamari Hall and Vincent Burrell, new cornerbacks, had some great play. His offensive coordinator talks about self-inflicted negatives, and that's when you cause a negative by your actions.
Okay.
So if you're not prepared, if you haven't studied the plays, if you haven't done the things that you're supposed to do, you are not going to be ready, and you self-inflict those negative things like penalties, like missing assignments and blocks. And I think if they can improve that, they're going to be fine. Here goes the team stats: a total of 238 yards for Miles College. Alabama State with 407 yards total offense. I mean, wow. 8 kickoffs for 434 yards. They didn't have a chance. The kickers kicking the ball out of the end zone. On the ground, 130 yards for Alabama State, 73 for Miles College. But, like I said, it's the Andrew Body Show. 14 of 16 for 251 yards. He only missed two times. 2 drops out of that. Sean Smoot came in and was 2 of 4 on the ground. Bodies led all rushers, 7 carries for 60 yards. They're trying to keep him in the pockets. And Kari Lagone with 8 carries for 36 yards, 4 catches for 118 yards and 2 touchdowns for the big tight end, Jalen Jones. Man, he is phenomenal. And as I said, defensively, Zamari Hall and Vincent Burrell were key in those wins for the Alabama State Hornets. They are taking a break in a week. They're one of the teams that is on hiatus. They'll get a week on a bye week, and then they'll head over to, let's see where they go next. It's right here. They're going to head to SWAC play, getting ready to play. Wait a minute, I had it right there. To FAMU in Tallahassee, Florida for that big showdown. So you got 2 huge games. Well, actually, 3 huge games. You've got Texas Southern Prairie View Grambling. You've got FAMU and Alabama State. You've got Jackson and Southern. So that's going to be a big weekend of football here on the 27th.
Huge weekend.
I'll be getting out here heading with Chatterbox to Mississippi and getting ready to take on Texas Southern and Mississippi Valley State, and Coach Terrell Buckley, who had an interesting outing here over the weekend. And folks, I really apologize for my computer. I don't know what's going on with our internet, but now mine is completely down. Wow. Yeah, so no internet. I hope there it is. It's just going slow. Maybe because the stream is taking up so much, but I have no internet over here on my computer. Okay, well, congratulations to the Hornets of Alabama State, who defeated Miles College 37-9. What a big win for them! And I'm just trying to see if I can get everything closed so I can get volleyball up here. Let's see. So, Rick, how's it going? This is awful.
Well, right, something I wanted to mention. If our listeners recall Andrew Body, he attended Texas Southern University, and his first 2 years playing collegiate football was filled with peril. This man stayed hurt all the time. He spent more time in the training room than he did on the sideline. And
shoulder injury last year, and then knee injury in his first year. And here we go. We got it back up now.
So I have to put this game on the table. I mean, there are other games that'll be played that day, but when Jackson State plays Alabama State, I'm going to have to turn my attention to that game, bro.
That is going to be
OMG.
That's going to be a good one. Okay, I'll find it up here. Let's jump on soccer right quick.
Go ahead.
For Alabama State. Did you know Alabama State had a flag football team?
No.
Wow. Yeah, they got a flag football team. Wow, and they got stats and everything. The women's soccer team at Alabama State is 8-1, and man, they are doing it. Everybody, as you said, getting ready for SWAC play. They're coming off of a loss to Nicholls State, 2-3 on last Sunday. On last Friday, they were in Montgomery and they lost to Jacksonville State. But they got a next contest against Kennesaw State. This Wednesday at 6:00 p.m. down in Kennesaw, Georgia. On the volleyball court, the Lady Hornets are 0-9, getting off to a tough start.
Wow.
Just coming back from, they're getting off to a tough start. Coming back from the Furman Invitational in Greenville, South Carolina, and they dropped all 4 matches. They get back to work against Providence on the 19th in New Orleans, Louisiana, in the Pelican Invitational. So how about that? They'll get back into action and hopefully they can get back on track and get to moving. Well, let's leave Starkville, Mississippi, and head back over to Jackson, Mississippi, and talk about the Tigers of Jackson State.
Yes, sir.
Ooh wee. W.C. Carson
that sounds like
said
something
that
they play the Jackson State game too.
Yeah, everybody's on the Jackson State team.
Yeah.
W.C. Carson said that Jackson State doesn't recruit. They just reload, and they have reloaded with a freshman quarterback, man, who was just sensational.
Well, let me tell you, the Tigers got back to their winning ways this past weekend as they cruised by the alma mater of Lionel Richie, Tuskegee University, to the tune of 30-0. And I'm sure Lionel Richie didn't like that tune. Jackson State opened up a can of defense all day, brother. Tuskegee crossed the 50-yard line. Check this out. 2 times. Twice. They held the Golden Tigers to 85 pass yards, 100 total yards for the entire day. 109 yards total offense. Quincy Ivory and Ja'Cory Harjan were parts of the reason why that happened to Tuskegee like that. They had 7 and 6 tackles respectively. But the freshman quarterback, I heard you mention that crab. We used to call freshmen crabs. They don't do that anymore, do they?
Yeah, but no.
Okay, the freshmen don't take too kindly to be called a crab.
You're talking to Super Crab, G-Bone. You better tell him.
Okay, the crab quarterback. If he wants to call me and talk about that, we can talk about it. But the freshman quarterback from Jackson State, Jared Lockhart, 15 of 21 for 254 yards and a tutty. Ahmad Miller led the rushers with 69 yards on 8 carries. Kobe Paul had 75 yards receiving on 5 catches, but it was the defense that held Tuskegee to 0 points and 109 yards of total offense. Jackson State is getting geared up for SWAC play, folks. But as I mentioned earlier, a few minutes ago, when they play Alabama State, it's not going to be your mom and pop's Alabama State versus Jackson State game. This might be a little bit different from what we're used to seeing. What do you think, Charles?
Well, I think they've got super tremendous depth, and it's going to be tough. I think all the way down the line, their sound, I think it's going to be a great matchup when it comes down to it.
Mm-hmm. Well, on the volleyball court, the volleyball team at Jackson State is not as good a record as the football team. They are 0-8 as they dropped 2 matches this past week to Houston Christian, 1-3, and the University of Louisiana at Monroe, 1-3. It's tough. It's tough. But next up for the
tough out there.
Yeah, it's tough out there. It's tough out there. My uncle used to say that, man, boy, it's tough out there. You better get a job. Next up for the Tigers is Northwestern Louisiana. The Demons of Northwestern Louisiana is on tap for Jackson State. But let me mention a couple of superlatives that Jackson State has on their team. A couple of young ladies who I feel they deserve honorable mention. Hope Briggs, 13 kills and 4 blocks in that doubleheader against Houston Christian and Louisiana Monroe. And she was followed by Jaden Jones, who also deserves a tip of the hat with 14 kills and 13 blocks in that tournament. There's a bright side. There's always a bright side somewhere. Come on, you can always find a shining light somewhere. Even in your darkest hours, you can find a shining light. On the soccer field, the soccer team at Jackson State owns a 1-5-2 record. They have 2 ties. Some people say that's like kissing your sister or kissing your brother. They kissed theirs twice. Okay. Hey, I'm okay with kissing my sister. Yeah, I love.
As long as it ain't in the mouth. I mean,
as long as it ain't in the kisser. Now, but last week the Tigers tied with Nicholls State 0-0 up in Thibodaux. They were over in Thibodaux, and they tied with Nicholls State 0-0. Next up on the Tigers' schedule is a visit. South Carolina State comes to Jackson, Mississippi to take on the Tigers. That game will be televised on SWAC TV. We were talking about SWAC TV. We have more information regarding SWAC TV for you as well. But next up for the Tigers is a visit from South Carolina State. That game, first kick will be at Tiger Field, scheduled for 4 o'clock p.m. that afternoon.
All right. Well, baby, let's get back on this train. Hey, little black star.
That sounds like Eshe.
Come ride that Zydeco train. Not going to spend a lot of time up in Starkville, Mississippi, man. It was rough. 28 points in the first half for Southeastern Louisiana.
Wow.
14 in the second quarter. I'm sorry, first quarter. 14 in the second quarter, 14 in the third quarter. Valley finally got it together to stop them in the fourth quarter. Maybe they just kind of, let up. 56-3 was the score. Valley with only 9 first downs in the entire game. 61 yards of rushing and only 164 yards of total offense for the Delta Devils. Man, it was tough. Let's hop down that Zydeco train and let's head to Hammond, Louisiana. Well, more exciting SWAC play down in Hammond, Louisiana. Man, it was kind of tough for the Valley State Delta Devils in Southeast Louisiana, but it was even tougher for the Thoroughbreds in Grambling. Man,
yep.
Grambling State at home finally got their big win.
Yep.
And they needed it on a nail biter now. We're going to pull Raymond Holly in for this one because he watched the entire game. He saw what seemed to be questionable calls at the end, and we've got to hurry up. We've got 8 minutes to get to the train. But, G-Boom, you saw the end of that game. Congratulations to the Jackson State Tigers with the win, but there were a lot of people unhappy about what happened in that game. G-Boom?
Okay, here I am.
That final score. Yeah, okay, yeah, there you go. Yeah. We said you were going to say something in this segment. You forgot? But a big game down there. The Thoroughbreds played some good football against the Tigers of Grambling State. But
yes, they did. Yes, they did.
Did somebody say something about some home cooking or something? Somebody cooking some cornbread somewhere around there?
Cornbread and green. Listen. The little quarterback.
I'm waiting on G Boom's comments. He's just sitting there. He doesn't want me to bait him.
What had happened? This game ended up going into overtime.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, if the Kentucky State quarterback would not have slid and would have dove forward or kept going, he would have got the first down in regulation, and they would have ran out the clock and won this game.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yes.
A thriller.
They would have won this game.
That young man attended C.E. King High School, not far from where I live. His name is Denham Johnson. And Well, there's some other stuff. G Boom, go ahead and finish what you're saying.
Well, what
there's some.
This game ended up going into overtime.
Yeah, overtime game. Yeah, Grambling is not my school, so anyway. But the overtime game. You got the notes. Well, come on, man. We got almost time to go home here.
Well, listen, the Tigers, they eased by Kentucky State. I'm glad you asked. Because Xavier 13 of 27, 228 yards, 2 touchdowns. He rushed 9 times for 99 yards and 2 touchdowns. But listen at this. The Tigers, at the end of the fourth quarter, Grambling was behind, near the end of the fourth quarter, 31-24, with 1:55 left after a field goal by Kentucky State. Now, and Kentucky State led the entire fourth quarter. Then with 10 seconds remaining in regulation, Tissette rumbled 17 yards for a touchdown. The point after by Teddy Caballero tied the game 31-31. Now, the game was won in overtime by Tyrell Rabbie, who rumbled, stumbled, bumbled, and picked up a football and ran 83 yards for a touchdown in overtime. That's how the game was won. I'm out of breath right now. Feel like I just ran 83 yards. I'm talking rumbling, stumbling, bumbling. He didn't fumble. He made it to the end zone. 83 yards later, Grambling walked away with a 37-31 victory in overtime. Yeah. I see you shaking your head, Charles.
I watched it. I saw the end of it. I was trying to watch 3 games. I was watching actually the Prairie View game, the Lamar game. I was watching the Kentucky game, and I'd watched the Jackson State game. So I was trying to get them all in the midst of all of the cuckoo-ness, folks. And we're a little off today, so we'll apologize for that. But it's just been a topsy-turvy weekend. And like I said, I was just so overwhelmed being able to sit at the house and watch 5 different games at one time. It was incredible. What's going on the volleyball court?
On the volleyball court, the Tigers are 0-7. OMG. Hey, but they went to Thibodaux, Louisiana, and took on they were in a tournament. They took on Abilene Christian in the SWAC SLC Challenge, and they lost to Abilene Christian by the score of 0-3. Kenya Lucas, as I mentioned, there's always a bright spot somewhere. Kenya Lucas, 7 kills, and it helped me with this name because, Charles, you did the volleyball tournament last year. Kelly Lazy. Is that right?
Lazy.
Kelly Lazy. Yeah. But at any rate, she had 10 digs for Grambling and did a phenomenal job scraping that ball off the floor, setting their teammates up with 6 sets. Nicholls State and New Orleans, they beat Grambling 0-3. Next up for Grambling, Southern Mississippi at the Southern Mississippi Invitational on September the 19th. The Lady Tigers will travel to Southern Mississippi. On the soccer field, we got time left. On the soccer field,
come on.
Lady Tigers 5-2 right now. They lost to South Florida 0-6. Next up for Grambling's Lady Tigers, they come to H-Town. They take on Rice September 21st over in Rice Stadium at 12 p.m.
All right, come on, Rick Godfrey. Let's take it on home.
Take it home. Hit that whistle.
Well, the Panthers went back to Houston, Texas to take on the Owls of Rice. A battle of 290, so to speak, even though ain't nobody from Rice coming up here close to Prairie View for anything. They're going to stay in Houston where there's still a lot of fun. The Panthers dropped that one 38-17, but I just want to start off by talking about the effort of the Prairie View A&M University Panthers. I was glued to that one. G Boom and I were watching that one together, and I was glued to that one because the Panthers in their first drive, their first plays, they got on the horse in their second series and drove down the field and scored on Rice. I think in the very first quarter, the Panthers were really evenly matched with Rice. It was 7-7 in the first quarter, but didn't really get out of hand. A field goal and a touchdown in the second quarter. And then in the third quarter, they answered with another touchdown. The Panthers answered with a field goal, and then the Panthers started getting their lather up and scored 7 more. The final score, 38-17. But, man, I saw some great stuff going on the field for the Prairie View Panthers. And, Coach Tremaine Jackson comes on real strong because he believes in what he does and he believes in what he says. He believes in his team. And he talks about changing the attitude of not only the players, not only the coaches, the university and the staff itself, and the fans. We want you to get excited about it, and I'm starting to see the change of the attitude that he's talking about, Rick. He's talking about going. He said, "I don't give a damn if we playing Notre Dame. We coming to play. We gonna try. We finna come to beat you. We didn't come just to play. I mean, if we want to do all that, we can stay at home play PlayStation.
Right.
We just come. We come to win." And I'm understanding what he is saying now. You kind of like, wow, he's really out there with it. But he believes in what he says, and if you just listen and look at what he's saying, it makes a lot of sense. 18 first downs for the Panthers. 18, only 18, 28 for Rice. The Panthers with only 100 yards of rushing on the ground, and that's where they lost it. They started running between the tackles and not north to south. They had that option quarterback who was just tremendously fast, and they kept getting to the outsides and big plays, and that's what really killed the Panthers were the big plays. So, gee whiz, the Panthers had an opportunity, but they just couldn't get it. Let's hop on over to the volleyball court here right quick. The Panthers next up this week against Northwestern. Now, this is going to be interesting. Northwestern defeated Alcorn State. We play Alcorn State in a couple of weeks. Mm-hmm. And 27-10, what was that score? Yeah, 27-10. And the Alcorn Braves and the Panthers are very similar, with a lot of new and young players and trying to get an offense and philosophy established there. Cedric Thomas isn't playing right now. His record's 0-3. But you just better believe with this bye week, he's going to rest his guys up and get it together. For Prairie View on the volleyball court, well, the Lady Panthers coached out here 2-8, but that's okay. They're getting ready for SWAC play. Some bright spots on there. Of course, Kylie Owens with 129 kills.
What?
Yeah, 129 kills, bro. So that's when you said that I didn't want to,
rain on my parade, huh?
Rain on your parade. Demaya Hill has 105 kills on the year. So already they're playing some great basketball. But you think about it, that's not really a lot. It's the beginning of the season. You get you got 3 matches to make some kills. If you make 8 a match,
right?
You play a tournament that's 3 times 4, that's 12. So you're 8 kills times 12.
Okay.
It's 72, right?
But you still have a responsibility that when you kill it, it has to be within the square.
Oh, but we're talking about Kylie Owens, the preseason Southwestern Athletic Conference Player of the Year. Come on, man.
Yeah, that's right. She's supposed to do that.
Panthers coming off of a loss to Texas A&M Corpus Christi. They've had a couple of weeks off. They're headed to North Florida on Friday to take on the UT. Oh, I'm sorry. They headed to San Antonio on Friday to take on North Florida in the UTSA Road Runner tournament. It's called the Maverick Invite. Mm-hmm. All right. And they'll have another date on Friday afternoon with UT Arlington, UTSA on Saturday at 2:00 in their Coliseum, and then they'll start SWAC play on the 28th against Southern University in Clifford Seymour Gym down there on the Bluff. Well, it's time to kind of head on into the train station here and wind up here at Texas Southern University, where gee whiz, the Tigers went bird hunting, But it seems like the Cardinals kind of flew away there.
Yeah.
I tell you, it was a tough match for Texas Southern. They came out in their opening drive and scored a touchdown. I just knew that they were gonna have a great game, but unfortunately, it was tough. They dropped that one 38-7.
Wow.
In a game that was really winnable for I think Texas Southern. Coach Chris Dishman was, okay, let's be nice, despondent. He was pissed.
Who was favored
about the effort?
Who was the favorite in that game?
I didn't look at the favorites. Maybe G Boom can jump in there and say who was favored in that one. The Cardinals had a slight edge on them, but I think the thing is that Texas Southern's got some of the best return men in the conference, and I mean, special teams fuels their excitement, and when special teams start getting up for them and start really exciting the crowd, then that gets the other offense and the defense, the other players all fired up and hyped up, and they come up with big plays.
Well, the Texas Southern defense, I think it would be safe to say that they had a letdown in the second half. I didn't see the game, but I understand that Lamar took complete control in the second half. Couple of defensive letdowns with turnovers and penalties, and you get a final score of 38-7.
Yeah, and that's one thing Coach Dish talked about. He says, they didn't play well. He said he was disgusted in an interview. He says their third down efficiency was horrible, and their ability to get to the ball, they can converge on the ball. 4 or 5 hats around the ball just didn't happen, and they didn't hold on to some tackles. They missed a bunch of tackles, and they just really kind of played sloppy. So Texas Southern will also get a break, and gee whiz, man, we need to take some exhales for a couple of these teams. Texas Southern, Mississippi Valley, Pine Bluff gets a win. There's some other teams, but these are what I don't think they realize that these are some very dangerous teams. They've got some good athletes on these teams. They're just trying to put all the pieces together, and the Southwestern Athletic Conference has been tremendously competitive these last 2 years. Let me tell you this, 250,000 views this weekend on SWAC TV. And
what?
I think that, 250,000, 250,000 views on SWAC TV on those 4 games they did last week.
That's outstanding.
Was it 4 or was it 5? 5 games. Well, folks, that's going to wrap it up for us here on this edition of Around the SWAC. We have had, the big dog has had a tough day.
Quite a day.
Yeah, a tough 4 days.
You're going to sleep good tonight, man.
Man, I tell you, some other stuff going on. Chatterbox is under the weather. Got the message late. I didn't see it because I've been running.
Well, Charles, I'm gonna
are
put
still
my
working
hand on
this
the
thing.
radio.
This is a work in progress. Around the SWAC is a work in progress. I think each week we do our best to try to get better and better. And I think in just a few moments we're gonna hit that smooth spot because we're right there. It's just if it ain't one thing, in the words of Richard Dimples Fields.
Yeah.
If it ain't one thing,
it's another.
It's another. I want to thank my main man, Al. You can go on all of our social media platforms and get those flyers that we talked about. That's part of our sponsorship package. You can sponsor the show. We'll do social media blitzes during the week, and we'll put all your information out 3 times, twice a week. So you're still getting constant advertising right here on Splendid Media. Well, this week, quickly, some good games going on this week. Only 4 games slated for this week's schedule. And Rick, that first game, the Tigers taking on the Wildcats. What we got there?
Woo! That would have to. Hey, listen, I'm SWAC. BC at home. Give me BC by 3.
BC by 3. The Dragons taking on the Bulldogs. We know what's going to happen with that. The Dragons came to TSU town last year and we got a chance to see them, man. Sam Shea gonna be in great shape going into real SWAC play. I see Bulldogs 56-0. By the way, the Wildcats, I'm with you. The Wildcats will win that one 38-10. 38-10. And 45-12 for the Bulldogs Dragons. The Tigers taking on the Lions this week.
Tigers in lines. Hey, my last name begins with a G. I'm going with the G men.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say also the G men. They're gonna be at home, and with that big win over the weekend and overtime, I think the excitement to get back Grambling. I see Grambling 28-12.
Yeah. Okay.
And then the Panthers this weekend, the coup d'etat of the weekend, the Panthers taking on the Demons of Northwestern. This is a game right here where you can take all of those positive things that you saw against Rice, put them in a blender, put some ice in it, and make something frosty and kick their butt in Panther Stadium. We need to get all of the fans out there, especially this game. This is a very, very important game as we get ready to go to Dallas. It's going to be a huge show this weekend, so it's going to be a lot of fun. You don't want to miss this weekend because this is one of the bigger game day experience weekends that we've had here. And I don't want to let all of the cat out of the bag, but it's going to be a huge this weekend. You got to get there. Tell a friend, tell 10 friends, tell 10 about the football game this weekend. Not a lot of tailgaters in the first game. Panther Club will be out there tailgating for sure. And you need to get your butts in the seats. If you got some kids that go to Prairie View, if you got some young Panthers, make sure they go to the game. Like Will Joyner, make sure Lil Will went to the game. If you want something to eat, I'm going to make a new rule. If you don't go to the game and stay at least until the end of the third quarter, you can't eat in the tailgate. You got to go buy your food because the students, they think it's the students' buffet, and man, we got to have a conversation about that too, G-Boom, and about homecoming etiquette. You know what I'm saying? Homecoming etiquette, not for everybody, including the students. Man, they're getting to be something else, boy. These young people, golly gee. That's going to wrap it up for us. Jalen Cole and the Chatterbox will join us next week. We are just trying to make sure that everything is worked out perfectly. I'm just trying to make excuses for him, Ricky. So I see you smiling over there. Jalen Cole and the Chatterbox, they're out this week. That's okay. But next week, join us for another edition of Around the SWAC, 7:00 p.m. Yours truly, Jalen Cole, the incredible Jalen Cole. Chatterbox, you see I'm trying to fix it, right?
Yes.
Chatterbox, who incidentally is on KPFT on Sunday nights from 6 to 8. KPFT. I was going to ask him to do an edition of Where's Chatter? And, he DJs in certain venues across the city. And if you want to follow Chatter, you can do that. Rick Godfrey every weekend is doing some high school football. If he's not doing Panther football on Saturdays, he's doing high school on Thursdays and Fridays. Jalen Close, she's an executarian. What do you call an eyelash person? An esoterian?
Eyelash person? I don't know. I'd have to talk to Puddin'.
Yeah, executarian or whatever you call them. That's what she does. She's very successful at that too. And I told her, you need to promote your business right here on the Splendid Media Network. Folks, that's going to wrap it up for us. Here, we're pulling into the here we go. Wow, man, finally pulling into the train station here in Splendid Station, and we can sit down and relax. It's been a rough ride this week, Rick Godfrey.
Yes, it has. I want to extend my best wishes to Larry Chatterbox. Tell him Saturday I had my hand on the radio. But maybe I need to stay on my knees a little bit longer.
All right, folks. This has been Charles Porter along with Rick Godfrey, the Golden Voice, and G-Boom Hollison. So long. We'll see you on the next train ride next Tuesday at 7:00 as we go around the SWAC.
The 2025 SWAC football season is almost here, and SWAC TV is set to bring you some of the most anticipated games of the season. Big classics, historic rivalries, and some of the best bands in the land will headline the inaugural slate of 45 football games this fall. Free, live, and on demand on the new and exclusive streaming platform of the Southwestern Athletic Conference. The time is now. SWAC TV is here, building champions for life.